going on, family? It's your chill brother from another, Mr. All About My Biz, back in the building once again for another edition of the Playbook Podcast, Labor Day edition, right here with your chill brother, man. Listen, I know you got your lemonade, you got your Kool-Aid, you got your water, you chilling or whatever the case might be. But listen, I need you guys to rock out with me real quick, okay? Listen, if you're new to the show, let me go ahead and give you the 411 on how we get down and how we get busy on the Playbook Podcast. We're going to go ahead first and start you off with the hezzy, and then we're going to attack the rack as we drive the lane down the NBA and give you some news and some highlights of what's been going on. Then we're going to go ahead and throw you the deep ball and help you get down the sideline as we move the chains and give you some news, what's been going on around the NFL. And then we're going to go to one of my favorite parts of the show, with Stop Playin. And then we're going to finish things off the 3-course meal with the championship speech to get your mind, your spirit, and your soul ready, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally ready for the week to come. And, you know, that's how we're going to get down. This episode, we want to focus on this command, though. Get out of park. Get out of park. And we're going to cover that. That's a little preview of what's going to happen in the championship speech. So listen, y'all, it's time. And if you ain't ready, you better get ready, okay? I'm going to give you the real, and it's going to be just as smooth as Bradley Beal. And I'm going to make sure it's a super great deal as we give you and deal you out another edition of the Playbook Podcast. Let's go! My sisters and brothers, what's going on? It's a chill brother from another, Mr. All About My Biz. I'm just trying to handle my biz so I can take care of my future kids, y'all. That's it. That's all. It's that simple. Okay? Listen, y'all already know the deal by now. No need to quit when y'all follow the script. Y'all go ahead and follow the script and follow us on Spotify, Anchor, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, the YouTube channel, the Playbook Podcast, Kyle Turner, where you can find all content from season 1 and 2. And listen, man, we're just trying to expand our horizons. We're bringing the barbershop and bring it to your podcast, y'all. This is how we get down, okay? Listen, man, I know you guys are chilling. You know, it's a beautiful day out here. It's been a beautiful week so far. But you already know what time it is. Enough of the fluff. Let's get right into the stuff. Let's get right into the opening tip. So, you guys are familiar with the song, All You Need Is Love. And right now, in the city of brotherly love, ain't a whole bunch of that going on right now between Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers right now. The star forward has requested and demanded he be traded from the Philadelphia 76ers, even going out to say that he will not report to training camp. Now, listen, honestly, Philly got all the leverage right now. Ben still has 4 years left on his contract, and Philly has been trying to deal him throughout this summer. But Ben, your trade value, I don't really know. I mean, yeah, he's a walking triple-double. Yes, he has all the tools necessary to pretty much be an MVP if he can really put it all together. But honestly, I mean, 25 years old, you still haven't worked on your jump shot, and you still don't have any type of drive and hunger to really turn it on. Bro, I don't really know what your real value is, but a lot of teams still value Ben Simmons. And we're going to talk about them right now and some possible trade destinations and scenarios for Ben Simmons. Let me go ahead and give you the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's go right to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're really high on Ben Simmons, especially to try to make sure that Karl Anthony Towns is happy being a Minnesota Timberwolf. Ben Simmons going to Minnesota could put them in the play-in game tournament, possibly. But look, let me go ahead and give you the scenario in this trade. I put my GM hat on real quick, and let's go to Minnesota. Let's go D'Lo, Malik Beasley, Josh Okogie, and 3 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. Now, listen, I know D'Angelo Russell is Karl Anthony Towns' best friend, but they're never on the floor together. And this would pretty much shake up a lot. You got Anthony Edwards ready to pretty much be your starting 2 guard right now. Malik Beasley is a solid scorer, and if you put him in Philly alongside D'Lo, you got Josh Okogie, who can pretty much be your defensive stopper, not to the level that Ben Simmons is, but at the same time, someone that you can count on to kind of guard one of your best players possibly. And this trade makes a lot of sense. If you're Minnesota, you got a new ownership with Alex Rodriguez. And if you want to make a splash, you make a splash like this and bring Ben Simmons to town. Okay? Los Angeles Clippers could be a possible trade destination for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has pretty much been out and say, hey, I would pick and choose 3 Los Angeles teams that I would go to. Now, that means the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Golden State Warriors. 3 California teams that he would prefer to go to. Now, the Lakers, they just pulling strings everywhere, and they're just getting a whole bunch of expendables at this particular point in time. The Golden State Warriors, they're kind of on edge. It's more of a question mark whether or not they want to bring Ben Simmons in the fold. And the Clippers, though, they could possibly be a team, if they're willing to take on a guy like Ben Simmons. It would take this, though, in my opinion. Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard, 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. You got Kawhi going to be down for the rest of the year, probably. And, if you're trying to make a move up in the West, yes, last year, these Los Angeles Clippers made it to the Western Conference Finals. No Kawhi Leonard. Paul George put the team on his back. And I gotta give the devil his due. Paul George, getting criticized, getting ostracized by a lot, including myself. My man came through in the playoffs last season. He really did. But when you bring in a guy like Ben Simmons, and can you imagine a Ben Simmons, Kawhi Leonard, and a Paul George, a big 3 with the Clippers? You might have a lot to be working with if you're the Clippers, and especially when you were on the precipice of being a champion, possibly. If you're Steve Ballmer, and you know how hungry he is for a championship, you got to try to make this deal. Charlotte Hornets could be a destination for Ben Simmons. And, you have so many different dream scenarios. You got LaMelo Ball tied to Ben Simmons. And can you imagine the lobs that they would throw up to Miles Bridges and the young cat, Kai Jones? Bro, it would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. But here's who would have to go in this scenario. Terry Rozier, P.J. Washington, Jalen McDaniels, 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. You're not going to trade LaMelo Ball. Miles Bridges is still there. You got to keep Gordon Hayward. Now, if you want to really make the money work, then you got to trade Gordon Hayward. But in this scenario, the money should reach enough so that Ben can go to Charlotte. And Terry Rozier is a solid NBA point guard. P.J. Washington is a solid power forward, even though he's undersized. And Jalen McDaniels is kind of the wild card in all of this. If he can really put it together, he can be a solid role player for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Toronto Raptors could be a possible destination as well for Ben Simmons. Pascal Siakam has been in the trade rumor mill for the last probably 6 or 7 months since he really kind of got an altercation with his coach, Nick Nurse. He's pretty much been on the trade block. Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. And you're like, yo, why are you getting rid of OG in this scenario? The Raptors have so many different forwards that you can mess around with and play around with. You got Scotty Barnes, you got Chris Boucher, you got Precious Achiuwa, who played really well in the Summer League as well. And Toronto, making this trade, could possibly find itself back in contention in the East. Fred VanVleet, Ben Simmons, You got this whole squad of young cats that are pretty much hungry. You got Gary Trent Jr. as well. This could possibly work for Toronto. You got so many different guys that can switch back and forth between the forward and the center position. This trade might work if you're the Toronto Raptors. Portland has been tied to Ben Simmons for the longest time. In this scenario, McCollum for Ben Simmons straight up, 2 first-round picks. San Antonio could be a dark horse as well. Derek White, Dejounte Murray, 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. Greg Popovich and Ben Simmons together, man, oh man. What type of wisdom he can impart in Ben? Wow. That would be phenomenal if that could actually go down. Last but not least, I got Sacramento. Halliburton, Hield, Bagley III for Ben Simmons and 2 first-round picks. Sacramento is going to be desperate in this scenario to get rid of Halliburton. They really don't want to let go of Halliburton at all. But when you got a nice contingency plan and Davion Mitchell, who you just drafted, if you really want to make a run at the play-in game and get into the playoffs for the first time in over 16 years, you got to make a move like this to bring in Ben Simmons. All right? Listen, those are my trade scenarios. Put on my GM hat. Listen, what say you? What are the best possible trade situations for Ben Simmons? Leave your comments in the show notes, and I'll be sure to get back to those comments on the other side of the Playbook Podcast. All right, we got a couple of teams that have been in the arms race throughout the summer. And y'all know where I'm kind of going. And if you're not familiar, you see what the Lakers have been doing on the west side. And you see what the Brooklyn Nets have been doing on the east side. It almost seems like Tupac and Biggie back in the day. Okay, who can come out with the best hit first? All right, that's what it feels like between the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers. Both teams assembling rosters to try to pretty much upsert the now NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yo, the Lakers, I'm trying to figure out how Rob Pelinka is pulling this all off. I don't know what he's doing cap space wise. I don't know how he's making all this stuff happen. And the same thing goes for Sean Marks. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't see how you're making it happen. But they're making it happen. All right, so let me go ahead and give you the roster lineups for both squads. Let's go with the LA Lakers first. They got Russ, you got LeBron, you got AD, you got the big three over there, right? And you got Melo, you got Dwight Howard, Marc Gasol, Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn. And let me tell you something. Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn, and Talen Horton-Tucker are going to learn so much this season with all these veterans on the squad. And I promise you, if they can really glean and learn from these guys, they're going to be the future of the Los Angeles Lakers for years to come. Mark my words, especially Talen Horton-Tucker. Got a big eye on him, big bullseye on him this year, especially after signing that big long-term extension with the Los Angeles Lakers. Got Trevor Ariza, Rajon Rondo, Wayne Ellington, Kent Bazemore, Wes Matthews, and possibly DeAndre Jordan after he clears waivers, after he was traded from the Brooklyn Nets to the Detroit Pistons, and they're looking to buy out his contract. And after he clears waivers, he'll be pretty much all in to sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, let's swing over to the east side. Let's go to the Brooklyn Nets. You got KD, Kyrie, and Harden. They're big three. You got Blake, Joe Harris, Bruce Bowen, Patty Mills signed this all season. You got Nick Claxton. You got LaMarcus Aldridge. And, he's the feel-good story of this all season. Irregular heartbeat, forced to retire, got his health in check, and got the green light to come back and pursue his goal of being an NBA champion. Big ups to LaMarcus Aldridge. Got rookie Cameron Thomas, who pretty much put on his show in the Summer League. My man was getting straight buckets, crazy buckets, almost Kobe-esque with his game winner against the Washington Wizards. Off one leg, got it to go in sudden death overtime.